creating a button for a web page using Photoshop. Chances are you will be designing your interface elements in Photoshop. And I want to show you a way that you can create buttons in Photoshop. Now, a lot of trending web design shows that minimalism is still very popular. So we don't have the old-fashioned, what I call pill buttons necessarily. It's more just simple text, very clean, simple buttons used for navigation. Photoshop does have some tools, however, to let you design buttons in a variety of ways. So a button to define would be a graphical interface element that helps your users navigate through a website or interact with it. Let's go ahead and create a button in Photoshop, and I'll just show you some of the tools that potentially could be used, not that you will be using them, but just know that they are there. So I'm going to use a shape, and typically you're going to go with the rectangle shape. Now these are the vector tools in Photoshop, remember. So I'm not at the rectangular marquee, I'm at a shape tool. So we have a rectangle, a rounded rectangle, the ellipse, polygon, and a custom shape. Well, let's go with the rectangle. And I'm just going to create a very large rectangle here just to show you the effects. In real life, interface elements are not really this big. That's something that a lot of newcomers to the interface world do, is make their elements within their interface designs way, way, way too large. So we don't need a huge button, but I'm just going to show you. So I click and drag. Remember, this is vector now. I've created a shape layer. That's why my properties pop up dealing with my specific shape. And you can see that my layer has a little icon in the bottom corner indicating that this is a vector layer with a vector shape. So what Photoshop has is actually called styles. If you don't see it open, go under Window and find Styles. Mine happens to be open right over here, and I'll go ahead and drag it out. So these are pre-designed styles that Photoshop gives us, and we can go and search many more with the Adobe add-ons. We have a lot here. In fact, there are some just noted for buttons or text effects. So these are really kind of cool, and I'm going to go ahead and append. Remember, that adds to. So those will add to the bottom here. So what we have then are some different styles that can be applied. With this layer active, very simple, I can just click to apply a style. So if we want something down here, more of one of these button styles, there it is. So you can just keep clicking here, and you can see what happens is that my effects changes. So I'm not constantly adding to, I'm changing it as I go. Okay, so that's the styles with the styles panel that we have in Photoshop. If I wanted to, I could just go ahead and style it myself by applying colors and different effects. I can do this on my own, but just know that we have these styles available. A really great way to play with and create some interesting effects very simply. I think it's fun just to go through. Here's some glass buttons. We'll get append, that means add to. They always append to the bottom. So you can find some very minimalistic, and what I can do also is take these now and I could tweak them. So once I've applied them, I can actually go over here and play with this color overlay. So say I don't want this color, but I want more of this color, and okay, and here we are. So they are editable. I can append more button styles to my styles panel, and it's just a fast way for me to get an effect for a button in Photoshop.